Every click tells a story. You may log out, but your data never does. So, who digital footprints are you really leaving behind? Today on Cyber Alert. Welcome back to Cyber Alert. I'm Shervin.
And my name is Alea, but many of you know me as Cyber Girl. And today's topic is also one of my favorites recently. And it's something that you can't see, you can't touch either, yet it arguably the most permanent thing you own.
That is your digital footprint.
Digital
right?
footprint, yeah.
So, what I want you to do is close your eyes for a second. Imagine you are walking along a pristine beach. The sun is setting, the air is salty, and you look back at the sand behind you, and what do you see?
Well, I don't know for anybody, but for me, I see my footprints that are left behind me. But when you look at each step, it leaves a clear trace. But in the physical world, those marks don't really last. The tides roll in, and then what happens? The footprint is gone and erases away. And if you look at it, and it's if you look at it, you see that it was never there. Like when the tide comes in and it goes, where's the footprint? It's just sand.
So now imagine a beach where the tides never comes in. Imagine every step you have taken or since you would have born. It is all there just for imagine. You touch your keyboard, your smartphone, your smart devices, everything that you have, and your footprints are right there, deep, and they are permanent.
Yes, and that is what you call it your digital footprint. And we see all this going on. People think that digital footprint is not important. Just like how we can leave, let's say your parents walk the floor and you walk on the floor, just like how you will see it. It's the same thing when it comes to digitally. And in 2025, that beach is getting crowded. So today, we want to basically dissect the digital footprint and also digital consequences that come with our digital footprint.
So let's first start dissecting. And we said that what is digital footprint?
Yes, so a digital footprint is basically a collection of data that you leave online for doing anything, so that whether that's liking something, commenting, so much more. And we know that there are many different types that we normally do. Everyone is on Instagram. We like to comment on different things. And simple as just liking too is another portion of that. What we post, we see also with celebrities a lot of times where they might post something way back in 2016 or 2003, and sometimes when social media, they literally bring it back up, which is crazy.
When you think about it, especially from a young person's perspective, they think that anything that I post is personal to me. And they don't understand that once you actually let that post go and you say save or post, that belongs to everyone else.
It does, yeah.
So if they find themselves inside a compromising position and then look for some sort of employment later, they find themselves inside of a way that they possibly would not be able to get any employment because of those things. So I want us to just get a little cynical here for a moment, for a second, Cyber Girl. And we usually bring these things down into categories.
Yes.
And the two categories we're looking at today, we're looking at the passive, the active part of it, and we're looking at the passive part.
Yes, definitely. And when it comes to active, it's the stuff that you choose to do. So like we mentioned, you post a selfie on Instagram, you take a hot take on Twitter or X as they call it now, and then you leave a 1-star review on a coffee shop that burned your latte, for those who like coffee.
Me do.
I don't like coffee, I know.
My latte is every day.
But you're intentionally pressing your foot in the sand, just like how we mentioned earlier.
That's correct. But when we look at passive is the one that we have to be concerned about, because the active we just learned, but when we think about the passive, it's a scarier one. because it is the data collected without you even knowing that data is being collected. So we're looking at your IP addresses, your browser history with all these different, not only cookies that be cooked in the kitchen, but your browser also cook cookies as well. And we're talking about the things that you follow. We're talking about all of the different things that we can use and know about you, even down in the pictures that you post of all your different vacations. In fact, we mentioned that inside one of our previous posts, one of our previous episodes where we talked about be careful on what you post as well.
Yes, definitely. And we can't forget about metadata. And that basically is data about your data. So let me give an example to break it down. Let's say you have a photo that you're sharing, maybe on Instagram, maybe on Facebook, any social media websites, right? That photo actually contains a digital tag. So it can reveal your location, so where you took the picture, the time that you took the picture. It, like we mentioned, it can even type of you can even
They can include the GPS tracking and all of that as well. Is one of the things that they can pick up as well.
Yes, but GPS, yeah.
The key is that it also they're using AI to scrape this information from the website. So you can do website scraping within and using AI. And before it was a manual process, but now we can put AI to work. AI does it a whole lot quicker. So when we look at these, this is everywhere. We cannot get away from our digital footprint, just like how we cannot get away from the footprint of the sign that was ours. Our digital footprint is everywhere, and it's what do you call it? It's like hidden friends. Friends that you know that you have. Do you know you did not know that you had friends?
Yeah.
And like persons follow you and you say that, who is this person? I do not know anything about this individual, but you got all these followers. So when we look at social media, is one of the areas that you will see these things happen. We have IoT, Internet of Things devices, where you will see things like your smart fridge, your toaster, your fitness tracker. So when you look at these fitness tracker and you try to figure information can be taken off of these, and we can find out, in fact, one of the articles that I recently read, it was talking about how to take the fitness tracker and collect this information to be able to share with your physician on the things that are going on with your daily life. So it monitor your heart rate, how your heart rate was, if it was peaking or it was a spike at what time. It will monitor when you sleep, and they want to share this information. And all these information that are being collected are all your digital footprint as well. And then we look at public registration, public record. Now, in our election, they even talk about now using what? Biometrics.
Yeah.
Here it is that another digital footprint. When you talk about real estate and the way how we purchase real estate, again, that is digital footprint. That is information that belongs to you. And you have to be very careful. How do we protect them? How do you know who's protecting your footprint? How do you know? You have no way of knowing, and these are the things that we do not pay attention to.
Yeah, definitely we don't. And I think we need to, because like we mentioned, our data is very important. But we want to look at digital consequences. And this isn't just theory. This is something that happened just a few months ago. So let's tell a story. Let's call her Maya.
Yeah.
So we know Maya was a straight-A student. She was top of her class, captain of the debate team, applied for a prestigious 100,000 Global Leaders Scholarship for 2025, and it made it to the finalist stage. It was basically a lock.
So Maya was a straight A, top of her class. So when we look at Maya and you look at other persons such as Maya, you find out that the selection committee did a deep dive, as they will always do, even when we look at employment.
Yeah, definitely.
They wanted to know, who is Maya? Is Maya a good candidate to represent us, represent the school, represent the university, whomever? And then when they did a deep dive in Maya, what did they find?
So let's think about this, right? Obviously, you have your LinkedIn page, you look at your LinkedIn page as usual. And then they used an AI reputation tool. So it scanned the web for her digital history.
Yes, they put a plug there.
AI reputational.
Correct. And in fact, AI reputational tools. In fact, there's a lot of sites out there that you can use that help boost your reputation out there on the internet as well.
Wow.
And you can use AI, and they will go there, search with the, and they will put stuff on there to help build your reputation up. That's what you get to see as well.
Right.
So you can continue to tell the story about Maya.
Yes. So it was found on a forum post from when Maya was 13. And we talk about celebrities and how things often pull up from the past. And that post from a heated argument on a gaming site contained aggressive and then borderline discriminatory language.
Wow. So here it is that Maya was only 13.
Yes.
She was a child.
Yeah. And as children, you do children things.
And then doing children. In fact, I hold Maya's parents responsible.
Yeah, I do.
Because if Maya was 13, Maya should not be on any site at all. In fact, when you guys were about that age, you all had no access to the internet whatsoever until you was 16, somewhere around there. You had to be responsible, and your mom and I had to be the only two people you had to friend first. And with a 13-year-old to suffer, this is a lot of pain that Maya has to go through.
Right. And then when we look at it to the actual committee, it didn't matter to them. And the scholarship had a zero tolerance policy. And I know people argue, especially when I was in university, a lot of business professors and everyone, they can argue about having like a zero tolerance policy, or should you bring up something from the past and does it relate to now? Or even should you search up things about the person, period. A lot of times you'll see people argue about that. But then again, Maya did explain she was younger. She argued that she had grown and changed, but that digital footprint was actually permanent. And the digital consequences actually cost $100,000, just like that gone.
Think about it. That is digital hunting. Your 13-year-old self can literally sabotage your 18-year-old career by posting the wrong thing. So think when you think before you post. And don't be too quick, and especially if you have a dispute with one of your friends, and you just thought that I will just post this out here about my friend, and knowing that is not true, that stuff can come back and that can really hunt you desperately.
Definitely.
So I have a story too.
Ooh.
And my story may be a little bit more modern thrill about a guy named Liam. You see, Liam was an oversharer. He loved the digital lifestyle.
Listen, especially in this generation when it comes to lifestyle content creation and all that. But I definitely know those type of people who kind of continue to overshare a lot. And guess what? Every workout on Strava, every meal on Insta, every check-in at the gym, everything. Honestly.
So Liam was a hot poster. So exactly, Liam went on vacation to Greece. He posted a photo of his view from the balcony. No location tag, no hotel name. He thought he was being safe.
And here's the thing, a lot of people think that in this day for real. You thinking that you're doing all of that, but there are tools like open source intelligence that are used, especially in like cybersecurity and cyber criminals. If it's given to the bad person, imagine what they can do, and that can search up everything about you.
Yeah,
literally everything.
That is so true. But get this, a malicious actor, someone who wanted to target Liam's apartment back home, took that photo. They looked at the angle of the sunset. And they shaped the coastline, and they looked at the Pacific Church. They looked at everything that was inside the background of that, and within 10 minutes using Google Earth, they knew exactly which hotel Liam was at.
Listen, and we talked about this last episode too.
Yes.
Like, you have to be so careful. That's why you don't take any pictures in front of your house and everything like that. Even your surroundings, you have to be so serious.
So you post after you come home.
Exactly.
Not be too excited to post while you are there.
And even when you're there, you still have to be careful too.
Yep.
Like, come on, suppose you want to go visit again or something like that. I'm honestly, even when you're home, just please. And then, to continue the story, since they knew he was in Greece, they knew his apartment in New York was empty. So the only thing you could think about is you get robbed. Like we were saying about Bahamas, you get thief.
Liam got robbed, Cybergirl. They used his digital footprint to find out his Wi-Fi router model from an old tech support forum. Now, we talked about this too, where you could find out the information on the old wireless router and all that.
Yeah.
And they sat outside his house, hacked his network, and stole his identity while he was sipping on pina colada inside Athens.
You see all that work. And think about it, right? These cyber criminals went through lengths to do all that just to get his identity.
Right.
So that should tell you how serious your digital footprint is, your identity is. And sometimes they sell these things on the dark web and all sorts of stuff, and we really don't think about that.
And we don't know how important. See, digital footprints and your data is a gold mine. So once attacker can gain access to that, they can pretend that they are you. They can open accounts, bank accounts. They can do business in your name.
And if you think about it too, if they're doing, sometimes they can do malicious things in your name. And so now you're probably in front of the courts trying to defend yourself that you didn't do something, but according to them, it's your name and everything. So definitely we have to consider these things when it comes to protecting our data. We got the digital sovereignty. We have to know what's going on with that data.
Okay, that's correct. So when we look at it inside 2025, it's harder than ever, but it is not possible now that we're in 2026 about your digital hiding and how you have to try to protect yourself. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some little tips that you can use to help you be able to protect yourself in your digital hiding. The first tip, search yourself using incognito. Search yourself to understand exactly what you see about yourself out there.
Yes.
Every so often you need to know. Google yourself. Google your name. Find out. I remember Googling myself and I saw a post that was attached to one of my social media pages. I didn't know the person, but because I was friends with someone who knew that person and was friends with that particular person, as soon as I Googled myself, I saw some information that came up on my social media. And today, I had to reduce my my digital footprint out there because of seeing a lot of that stuff. The second thing I want to tell you is that the right to be forgotten, that is something that inside Europe where we can have the right to forget. Persons can you can say that, look, remove my information, clean up my stuff. I don't want my information to be used. But over on our side, the Bahamas, we don't have that. So we have to be very careful on how we post, we put stuff out there. And so we have to think. The next thing is audit the permission of your social media account. All of your accounts you have out there, what permissions do you have? Do you have the security turned on? Do you have a streamline? Do you have where certain persons cannot just post or tie you in the information just like that? Because persons can tie stuff onto your social media account and it can appear right along the line. Person will say, I didn't know that you were into those things, and you saying, what? Those things.
Yes.
Because I remember it happened to me.
It happened to multiple people who I know too. And I had to turn mine off. So when you tag me, I have to approve that.
Right. And the next thing you want to do is that look at your privacy settings. Change your privacy settings. Make sure that you control that privacy settings on Instagram. You want to control the privacy settings on your Facebook account or any one of your other accounts. Ensure that you control the privacy setting, because I am telling you, I remember when someone tagged me into a post that my wife saw. And when she saw that, she called me and said that, hon, do you see what's on your social media page? I said, what? She said, check it out. I checked it out. It was some lady inside some crazy, but whatever it was. And if she didn't know who I was, I had a lot of explanation to do. So I had to take it down and block my whole account because of that. Because if not, I would have been inside a serious problem. I could have been outside underneath the rain. So these are things that are so serious, and you have to be careful about it.
Definitely. And also, I'm going to add on to what you said. Another one of my cyber girl tips that I also would like to give is to use burner emails for any non-essential things.
Right.
So anything like, we like to go to different stores. They always send in promotions. And when you go to stores to buy things, definitely be able to use another account. And I feel like for any reason, you should have more than one email account, because like if there's some things happen. So when your primary account get locked out, you have another account to kind of fall back to allow yourself to come inside that primary account. So definitely make sure that you have a burner email for anything. But it also helps to reduce storage too. So when it comes to all those different promotions, you wouldn't get that. My second tip though, we talk about AI a lot, and I think it's worth mentioning that we use different AI tools, like especially chatbots like maybe ChatGPT, Gemini, and so much more. I want everyone to be able to understand, please be careful on entering any personal or sensitive or confidential information, because AI platforms actually can be targeted. And we see there's many different cyber attacks when it comes to data. We see that they can put in any data or anything inside the chat box prompts, and then when you look, they have those type of data comes out. They have different attacks for that. And then they also have data harvesting. We see that sometimes they can put a bad data set and run that through. So that's a lot of different things that can be happening when it comes to AI. So just be careful and be mindful of what you're putting into those chatbots.
That's right. So Cyber Girl, we are coming to the end of our time with our listeners. And if there's one takeaway that I would really like to leave with our listeners, and is that your footprint is not just your data, it is your digital reputation. So I want you to understand that your footprint is not just your data. It is your digital reputation. So you want to guard your digital reputation just like how you guard your physical reputation with your life, and be careful, because you can lose your reputation online just by one click.
And let's think about it too. I want to add that sometimes people's first impression of you is on the internet, on LinkedIn, on Instagram,
right,
all those different places. So be careful. Sometimes it's just a Google search.
Correct.
That's their first impression of you. So definitely you want to be careful with all of that in mind.
So just how we would like for you to walk carefully on the beach. So we want you to think before you click. Remember that the tide isn't coming up or coming in to save you. Your digital footprints will always remain. And if you post the wrong thing out there, it very well could come back to haunt you in your lifetime. When you're looking for a job, when you're trying to do something professionally, it can come back to haunt you.
Definitely. And with that being said, we want to thank everyone for tuning in to our podcast, The Cyber Alert. Remember to stay safe, stay private, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.